are there?
Welcome back. Trace turned 20 years old this week, and the group has established itself as an international authority on Afro-urban culture and frequently highlighting the achievements of young people. In response to the high unemployment rate, Trace has also introduced Trace Academia, a free online platform for vocational training designed for young South Africans and the African diaspora. For more on this story, I'm joined by the co-founder and executive chairman of Trace, Mr. Olivier Laouchez. He joins us live in studio. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name with my South African accent.
No, it's perfect. Thank you very much.
I do apologize. It's so lovely to have you in studio, just to brighten things up a bit with celebration.
Yes, my pleasure.
20 years of Trace. It feels like I just saw the unveiling of Trace a few years ago, but it's been 20 years. What a journey has it been?
Yes, I mean, it started with a passion for music, a passion for artists,
yes,
a passion for young people, a passion for Afro-urban cultures. And eventually, South Africa became one of the hubs of Trace because we got here our second headquarters. So it has been a long journey with a lot of ups and also downs.
I can imagine.
But, you know, we learn a lot, we shared a lot, we build a lot with all this ecosystem of the artistic movement, and we could see also all these trends from the Afrobeat movement in Nigeria to the Amapiano in South Africa, but I will not mention that much what is happening in the Caribbean or in Brazil or in France, in DRC and Kenya. We managed to build a global brand, but there is one thing that we all have in common, is his passion for Afro-urban cultures.
Let's chat a little bit about your inspiration and where exactly this journey started. Where did you see a gap in the market and an opportunity to start an organization like Trace?
At the very beginning, the gap was because, in fact, Afro-urban culture was not that exposed on traditional media in Western Europe. And at that time, you know, France was already the second biggest market for hip-hop. And you couldn't see that many black artists, in fact, on French channels. So I come from the French Caribbean. Had also this very strong connection with the hip-hop movement because I did run a record label in France named Sector A. So I had this kind of vision that this movement was more than just music. It was also the voice of a generation, the voice of a lot of young people, black young people that were a little bit disadvantaged in France. And I wanted to give them a platform so that they could express themselves. So this is how it started at the beginning.
Amazing. And then where did the idea of incorporating Africa come into that conversation? How did you decide that, you know what, I think we need to explore Africa and provide platforms there as well?
It was very simple. Okay. First of all, the creativity of the African continent, of the African artists, is just amazing. But same thing, at that time you couldn't see them that often on traditional media outlets, and there were not any brand that was really focused on African artists. So you had BET in the US, that was also an inspiration for me, but there was no equivalent in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Brazil. So I decided to create this platform, and Africa was definitely one of the big places to be, because this is here where most of the new trends, the new movement of music are now starting.
And what would your comments be on the development of the African artist? As you mentioned, South African artists are extremely talented. I mean, Amapiano is blowing up and it's becoming a worldwide phenomenon. And some of our artists have gained global success because of that genre of music that originated in South Africa. Are we seeing more and more South Africans break through the glass ceiling when it comes to music worldwide?
Yeah, I think also the development of digital was really a big accelerator. You know, when you release a new song here in South Africa, it can be in real time anywhere in the world. So
yes,
that did help a lot, and I think with Trace, the job of curating all this music also was very helpful to help artists export themselves all over the globe. But I think there is something that we need really to work on right now, is how do we organize the entire ecosystem of the African music so that African artists can also make music and make money, in Africa. You know, there is this reality of music rights. Altogether in the world, we've got about $10 billion that are spent in music rights. the African continent represents only 0.7% of this. So I think there is a massive effort to continue building from the creativity of the artist, but the entire chain of value that will also definitely help all African artists to make a better living in their continent, because unfortunately you have maybe 1-2% of the African artists who can manage to get some export, visibility on travel all over the world to express their music. And you had this week the first time ever South African artist was on the main stage at Coachella, in the US. So that's a breakthrough, but let's not forget all the other one.
I agree with you. There's been so many stories that I've seen in the media where some of our biggest local artists will retire and not have funds available because there was no planning, there was no insight brought forward into how to sustain yourself over the long term. So that's definitely something that our artists in Africa needs to focus on. So we appreciate your efforts in that regard. What I also love about Trace is that one of your key focuses is the success of young people. In this country, there's not a lot of support for young South Africans. Unemployment, as you know, is a huge issue in our country as well. So I'm interested in talking about the Trace Academia and what exactly that offers South Africans. Yeah,
in fact, we decided to create Trace Academia about 2 years ago based on a reality.
Okay.
You know the very high rate of youth unemployment here in this country, on the fact that most of young people, a majority of them, will not go for higher education. After 16, 17 or 18, they will never go to any school, any university. So we decided that we wanted to bring a solution to that. We can't fix everything, but at least to contribute to a solution. So we built a platform in partnership with a lot of brands, institutions, a coalition of people who are really motivated to fight against youth unemployment. And we offered on the platform 3 things. First, we offer a self-assessment for young people. Most of them, no one never told them that they were good at doing something. So we tell them, we listen to them, we ask them a few questions. It's an online app that is available on the App Store, on the Google Play. You can download it. It's free, 100% free. So first, we want to know who you are and what you are interested by. Second thing, we will teach you different things with courses online related to entrepreneurship, very important. Most young people want to be entrepreneurs right now. Second thing, hard skills. What are the technical skills that you need to do a job? And third thing, soft skills. Very important, because this is also for the entire communication that we need. You need to know these soft skills. And the last thing, we connect this platform to jobs, because eventually all this as one objective is to help young people find their future job, or maybe create their future job. So we did that. We did it in South Africa. We did a lot of research here to really understand the mechanism, what could be a good leverage to help young people to engage with this platform. And we are very proud, because in just a matter of few months, we've got already 1.4 million downloads of this platform. We already changed the life of tens of thousands of young people. And that's just the very beginning.
Amazing. So I'm sure there's a lot of young people or parents of young unemployed people watching this evening and thinking, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity for my daughter or my son to find a way back into the job market. So you mentioned that it's an online app. So they go onto any downloading platform and they download this app?
Absolutely. It's 100% free. And once they download the app, they can also use the app without data, because you can download the content and continue learning. And you've got also certificate. We partner with a big company like Google, L'Oréal, Total, and they help us to build the courses. But we use also our entertainment expertise to make the courses much more engaging, a little bit less boring than certain traditional platform. So yes, it works well. And this is an appeal also to your government, because I know this is a priority. I heard recently President Ramaphosa said this is the #1 priority for the government. Yeah. We can help. We can help, so we are more than ready to partner also to take all this to the next level.
Well, I really hope that someone from the government is listening, or in fact reach out so that we can expand this, because I think it's an amazing initiative. So just to touch back on the app, everything is done within the app. All of your lessons, all of everything happens in the app. You don't need to go to classes. No. Everything happens at the comfort of your home.
But it's obvious for certain jobs you need to have a more technical, practical expertise. So we've got certain partnership already with brands that have got their own schools. For instance, Schneider, which is a big electricity company.
Yes.
They are, by the way, they are looking for young people to become electricians. So please go, you go to the app, you follow the teaching, and then you've got an opportunity to get to a real job.
What amazing opportunity, and I think a lot of people will go forth and download that app. I also saw that the goal is to reach 25 million young people by the year 2025. That's a big goal.
Number.
How are you guys doing? Are you on track?
You know, we've got already 250 million users, listeners, fans all over the world. 80% of them are in Africa. And unfortunately, the reality that we have here in South Africa is not the only one. Other countries in Africa have got the same problem. So definitely with the magic of satellite, of digital, we can really build this platform in multiple countries. We've got also a very localized approach, the same we did to build our 29 different TV channels, because education also is a cultural thing. So you will not educate people in Kenya the same way you will do it in Nigeria or in South Africa. So we decided also to localize this approach with local partners. This is how we can reach our 25 million goal.
Amazing. Well, I wish you all the best in that, and I have no doubt that you will reach it. I think conversations like these are so important, you know, just to make people more aware of platforms like this, and to realize that Trace is not just a TV channel where music videos and music artists are seen. So what's next for this amazing organization and journey?
Oh, there are many things. First, this time we are going to reorganize the Trace Awards. So that will take place certainly in Rwanda in September, October.
Okay.
There will be some South African artists nominated. So, you know, stay tuned. You will see that very soon.
Exciting.
We are also going to consolidate all our digital assets on a new platform named Trace Plus that will be released in about 1 month from now.
Okay.
And our digital team based in South Africa for the entire world is absolutely busy working on that. It will be very exciting. And also we are investing more and more in original content. We recently acquired a studio in Cape Town. So we've got a fantastic team that produce content like Ultimate Bridemaster that you can find on ETV or The Real Housewife of Cape Town. So we do a lot of different things. Not many people know that it's under the Trace umbrella.
Yes.
But so we diversify. And at the end of the day, what we want to do is in fact to serve the people and to bring them entertainment and also success, empowerment solution.
Well, you're doing that already. But I wish you all the best in the future. Just one more question. It's a little bit out of the scope of the discussion that we had, but so interesting. Someone actually sent me a question on Instagram last night, and they asked, as an unemployed graduate, any advice that you have for me on how I can go about finding employment? And I was not in the position to answer a question like that. But someone with so much expertise, I would love to pose that question to you, because it's something that a lot of young South Africans struggle with. They are a graduate, they've received their certificate or their degree, but they're still struggling with employment. What are some tips?
Unfortunately, that's a very good question, and because it touches a lot of people. First of all, the reality, you don't have enough companies in South Africa to employ all graduates. So some of you will have to create your own job. So go to Trace Academia, follow the courses. You can contact us also. We can help you maybe build your own jobs, but don't stay at home waiting. If you can't have a job with a traditional company, try to create your own job. And there are a lot of opportunities right now here.
It's all about taking that initiative.
Absolutely. Take your control of your own destiny. You will succeed.
I love that. Olivier, thank you very much for your time, for your insights, and for celebrating a little bit with us on your amazing journey of 20 years at Trace. We appreciate your time and your insights as well.
Thank you for your invitation. Thank you very much.
It's my absolute pleasure. That was Olivier Laouchez, the co-founder and executive chairman of Trace, just talking to us about 20 years of Trace, all the amazing celebrations that has taken place, but also touching on a very important topic, and that is the unemployment rate here in South Africa. Go and download the Trace Academia app and make your way to finding opportunities. They are available. You just have to, like Olivier said, take your destiny into your own hands. So let's move on now. Today marks 1 year since Hillary Gardi's body was found mutilated and dumped at a timber